You know who my next guest is? Greg Hardy, who's back in action, taking on AlexeyOleynik, UFC 270, January 22nd. Greg, how's it going, man?
Man, it's going good. Appreciate you having me, brother.
Hey, pleasure is all mine, man. When did you find out about this fight? It looked like you got a full training camp.
Yeah, no, 8 weeks ago. We had a long time to prepare for it. Accepted it with open arms. They were like, "Hey, do you want to do this one?" I was like, "Hell yeah, let's get it." We got 8 weeks. Sounds perfect.
Yeah, and I was curious, did you and Alexey train together at all when you were at American Top Team, or was he not there yet? I was trying to remember.
Oh yeah, my first 2, 3 years there, man. I got to either spar with him or work with him in some kind of facet, and most of my wrestling classes and partners were either him or Arlovsky or some other big savage from the top 10.
I know you'll fight anyone, but was there any hesitation being like, I've already trained with this guy? Like, what was your impression when they offered you the fight?
I talked about this before in like another podcast I was on, and it was honestly like that football kind of feel. You know what I mean? Like when your teammate goes to another team one week and then you're playing them the next week, and it's like, what? Oh, what? And that's happened so much to me already, man. I'm just kind of used to it. I'm assuming we're gonna shake hands before, we're gonna shake hands after. That's always gonna be my bro. But when the cage locks, I'm a professional killer, so we got to get to work, and so is he. So I think he thinks the same way.
I don't think it's any secret, this matchup, right? I mean, you hit like a truck. He's a ground guy. Like, how do you look at this from a style perspective? Is it as simple as that, or am I missing something here?
It's as simple as that, man. It's sweet. It's honestly the one I was waiting for. Like I've always got something to prove. My clock's a little bit running a little bit faster than everybody else's. My time's up. I have less chances. So I was like, yo, this is the perfect time, perfect opportunity for me to prove, hey, I'm a full fighter, and I can hang in there with the best of them because 100% he is the best submission artist that I've ever come across in the heavyweight division. So I love it. It's gonna be me trying to kill him trying to get me to the ground and kill that tank. So
He's a pretty nice guy, right? Like, I don't know if does that just, you switch that off when you go in the cage? You're just kind of like, he's another opponent. He might as well be someone I don't like. Or how do you approach this fight with a guy like him?
we've always gotten along, man. I think it's simply because even when we go to spar like it's turned off. We're both going at it. We're both getting it in. He's hit me with some shots. I've hit him with some shots, and it's just like, my bad. You good? All right,
Yeah.
let's get back to fucking each other up. Like,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think we both have that professionalism, man. And even with some of the other opponents that I didn't know, man, I've always just been a big a big guy on the respect. You know what I mean? Like my last fight, f that guy, like piece of crap, hate him. But even like the one before another loss, I love that guy, bro. He's respectful. He came in, he won his fight. He monster, bro. So much respect for that guy. And as soon as you close the cage, I would try to break his face open again.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to ask you about that actually. What about Tuivasa? Did you really like? I know there's, obviously he's a personable guy, but what about that fight did you not like?
Yeah, not before. That's you got to sell the fight, but afterwards, he turned into a clown, man. He gets slapped around in the middle. First of all, he talks all the trash about walking into the middle of the meet me, right? And we all know what happened. He got slapped around and then decided to run back to the cage. And I made a mistake. And me being the guy I am, I owned up to my mistake. Loss is a loss. You won. Kudos to you, bro. He gets on there. He's like, I'm not a woman. I beat him down. It was a easy fight. It was like that's not realistic, buddy. You hyped me up. I got caught up in the hype, of course. I should have never tried to meet him in the middle. I should have fought my fight, but he cowered out. He cowered it out of the brawl that we agreed upon, and started throwing little girl haymakers from the back, and then luckily lands one because I idiotically just stood up and didn't know where I was. Without, like, didn't get punched, didn't get rocked or anything, just stood up on some stupid crap, some young man stuff, and I hate that kind of stuff. Call it what it is. Like, you won, take your win. Don't hype it up like you came in there and killed me, man. Because you got exposed a little bit. He's got a weak chin, and man, I'll always support the real athletes, man. I'll always support the real sportsmen, win, lose, or draw, because that's what it's about, man. We're one of few.
Training camp, who've been some of the main guys you've been working with leading into this fight as far as training partners and coaches?
Oh, I keep the same coaching staff: Rashad Evans, Devin Moultrie, my coach Fury. We added. I actually moved over to the Blackzillians.
Oh, did you
I'm
really?
official. I'm officially a Blackzillian now. We back in action. Picked up the boxing coach from the Blackzillians, and a lot of the old team. Usman came through the other day. We just a lot of the Blackzillians are coming back, man. So I'm getting to pick up on all that experience, all that knowledge. A lot of the old heads, a lot of the young cats. It's just been a full camp. You know, people running in, running out. I can't even keep up with all the names, man. It's been a hell of an experience.
That's cool. So just to clarify, because I know Blackzillians went to, I think it was Hard Knocks and then Sanford. So this is like the original Blackzillians coaching staff?
No, we're back at Hard Knocks, and we got the majority of the original staff. A lot of new blood. I mean, you know, Rashad was a big part of them last time. He's a big part of them now. You know, the heartbeat of us right now. And dude, we're building, ready to take over, man. Slap everybody down like before, but here to stay this time.
Okay, that's cool. I didn't know that. And how did you and Rashad link up? I was always wondering that. How did you end up working with him?
Upon my exit from ATT, you know, I had to figure out a camp that worked for me. ATT was no longer working for me, man. I couldn't get what I actually needed, the experience and everything that I was actually reaching for. A lot of my coaches ended up leaving, and I was kind of ASS stout, if you know what I mean. And I literally just started trying out coaches, picking up coaches, found a really good boxing coach in Coach Gary Clark, and those guys just ended up reaching out and being like, "Hey, man, you got Gergardi? Like, I would love to work with him." And then we linked up and started hung out with Tyson and got some knowledge from those guys. And then we just kind of bonded on a level, man. And he was like, "Yo, I'm bought in. I love the way you work." And I was like, "This is exactly what I need." You know, like you got the years and the knowledge to help me catch up and like change that learning curve. Super crazy for me. And we just linked, man, and stayed on.
Doesn't get much better than a former UFC champion and a guy who's making a comeback at his age. How's Rashad looking? We all want to know because he's fighting for Eagle FC at 42. He looks in better shape than when he was in the UFC before.
Looks in better shape than I do.
Yeah, it's crazy though. What's his secret? Good. I know he went I think he's eating differently or something, but I mean, it just, you see the photos. He's ripped, man.
Dude, he's on this vegan tip. He's on cleaner living tip. He's on the meditation, the spiritual stuff. He's just like I didn't really know him like that before, but it's just like he's embodying that whole fighter lifestyle. Like age regardless, like that's definitely the way that you want to be when you're getting ready for a fight or when you're in the fight business, man. And he deep dived into it, man. He's been moving around with me when I started at 320. So you got to imagine like him moving around with a guy that's 320, man, and he's just manhandling me, man, just staying locked in, and he's pushing me mentally, pushing me physically, and I'm giving him all I can on the weight size and the striking, and like I said, he's God when it comes to that grappling. So there's
Is any of that stuff rubbed up on you at all? Some of the stuff, the meditation, and any of that? Have you picked anything up from him on that side of things?
Oh yeah, man, I'm following suit, and that's one of the main reasons you go with somebody like that, and you seek knowledge because you want to follow, you want to get the things that are going to give you the edge, other than everything I've been doing my whole life. Like physically, I'm that guy. I've been the athletic specimen my whole life, and I've worked for that. But those in between things, the eating habits, like I'm getting better, losing the weight faster. Keeping my mind clear, working on the grappling, keeping my mind in good spaces so I'm not panicking and freaking out, controlling my energy reserves and stuff like that, man. It just all comes. And it's been amazing for me.
That's awesome. Do you still cut weight for heavyweight?
Oh, big guy. I cut 25 pounds after losing 25 pounds.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. I just had to clarify that. So that's interesting. And I'm sure
I just lost my first 25 pounds, and I got 5 more to go. And when I get there, I'll try to lose like 5 or 10 more, but it'll probably end up being like a 15, 20 pound cut.
Cool. Good for you, man. That's great. I imagine, is Rashad going to be in your corner for this fight? Who will be in the cage with you that night?
Oh yeah. Last 2 fights, man. The one fight he had COVID, and I think the other one he was just having his baby, so he wasn't able to get in the corner, man. But he'll be back alive in action this camp. I'll have my Blackzillians boxing coach, Coach Jerry, and good old Coach Fury, man. My grappling coach, and it's same guys we go to war with, same guys we've been with the last 3 or 4 fights, man. I'm just gonna attack it, ready for whatever.
And I'm sure you feel like a knockout is probably inevitable in this fight. How do you envision the fight playing out in this one?
last fight, of course. But this fight, man, this is one of those ones you just gotta let it happen. I gotta be comfortable, find my peace in the violence. If I go down, I get back up. If he decides to stand up, I'm in heaven, and I'm just gonna strike, man. Get into a comfortable place. Avoid that excited state of mind that I was in last fight. Get rid of all that lunging and jumping BS. Get back to G Hardy, simply striking, man, and be happy wherever it goes. Because I think I'm so dangerous everywhere, even on the ground, guys. Like, you've seen me. How many guys have you seen me knock out from getting stuck in a takedown move and just jamming his face in? So I just gotta remind myself and keep thinking like I'm comfortable anywhere, and it's gonna be all right. Three rounds, 5 rounds, whatever.
Yeah, no, I love it. You're prepared for anything. I got to ask, just as a fellow heavyweight, we got the heavyweight title fight next Saturday. Ngannou and Gane, they're unifying it. What's the Greg Hardy pick on that one? Who do you think gets it done?
I gotta go with Ngannou, man. He's a predator, dude. I like Cyril a lot, man, and I've been watching him on his way up. I'm envious of the way that he's been moving around in the division, but I think that experience is big, man. Just the way that Ngannou had to adapt and evolve throughout these last couple of opponents from that last crappy Derek Lewis fight, the first one. I think, man, he's built himself, especially with working with champ Usman.
Oh, Usman, yeah.
Oh yeah, the camp he moved into was the first major move he did, and that took his game because I love those guys up there in Vegas. But just working with Usman, getting his wrestling mentally right, because you can see it in the Stipe fight, man. He's turned into a champ. He's well rounded and he's viciously athletic. I don't see him losing unless he actually messes it up.
Cole Shelton, I know you spoke to him the other day, and I know that this is the last fight on your contract, man. By the way, shout out to Cole, good buddy of mine. This is the last fight on your contract, man. So how you feeling going into this one? I mean, you're putting the chips in and you're betting on yourself.
That's been my style, man. And at the end of the day, man, I get a lot of crap. But when you look at just like in the NFL, man, when you look at my body of work, you can't deny it. Like, and that's where I want to keep it. I want to keep it in that realm. Everybody loves to say I'm fighting cans, I'm picking people, bad. Like, but since the beginning, bro, I'll fight whoever, I'll do whatever it takes, and I want to go out on that same note. Like, this is the guy you would definitely think that I would not fight in my last contract fight, and it's like, boom, all right, that's what we're fighting.
Yeah, no, it's all worked out pretty well here. Okay, a couple other kind of fighting related questions, also some crossover, but you're a guy who came from the NFL and came over to combat sports. Did you watch the Deron Williams and the Frank Gore boxing fight? If so, what did you think of that?
I watched a little bit of it, man. Frank's nasty.
Yeah.
He hit me up. We got the same agent. We talked a little bit about it, bro. I knew he was going to fucking perform. I'm excited to see what steps he takes. Like, if it was just one of those, my favorite reference, CM Punks, where he's coming in cash grab, or is he about to take this seriously? Because as the guy that came in, and again, I say it on all my interviews, that stepped up and actually started paving the way for athletes to switch over and it to be okay without people whamping. Like, it would mean a lot to me to see him actually dig in, man, and kind of keep helping me pave that road for these guys and create a whole new realm for athletes, man. Because he's like me, like it's one of those athletes that's once in a lifetime, bro. Like, if he can figure it out, he's gonna be scary.
You still got love for the Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones. You guys still talk at all? What's the relationship like there?
No, we don't talk very much, man. He's a big timer. I just have a lot of respect for him. I'm one of those guys. I got the same relationship with Dana, man. I don't try to bother these guys too much. It's just once you give somebody like me an opportunity, man, I'm actually appreciative, And the burden of responsibility is on me to produce. And if I do not produce, or if something happens, it's still all love, man, because I had the time of my life. And with the Cowboys, I had the time of my life. And I actually knew a lot of those guys, like in the D-line room, like I was teaching a lot of those guys. And if I wasn't teaching them, we were learning together or figuring it out together as like a family, linebackers, receivers alike. So, I played 5 years with the Carolina Panthers, but I feel like, I bonded super hard at the Cowboys, man. I became a fan of the environment. The city accepted me. I still live in Dallas. I love it. So I'm a Cowboy fan forever.
How are they going to do in the playoffs? What's the Greg Hardy assessment?
Man, it's over with, bro. Do you see what form we're in right now? It's over with.
Every side of the ball, man, they're loaded, and I can't wait for that matchup this weekend. It's going to be great.
It looks good, dude. I think it's going to be a blowout again. Like, I don't see anybody stopping us at this point.
Your alma mater, sticking with football, Ole Miss, historic season with Lane Kiffin.
Who the hell are we? Hey,
what did you think of that, man? What a season they had, right?
Hey man, it's always a pleasure to see those guys do this, especially after that. We had a tough time. We had some suspensions. We had some rule violations that happened, dude. And then Lane came in, and I told everybody, I was like, "Yo, this dude's gonna get us right. This is what we need. We need somebody to just impervious to the BS, come in, and and it's kind of like the Rebels are kind of like the Cowboys, man. We're always stacked. Like I think I had like 20 guys go to the NFL from my class, dude, and it just keeps coming and coming. We need that leadership, and we need that person to like be the beacon and drive us, man. And I think it's only gonna get better from here. Like you're gonna see a national championship with Ole Miss coming soon, dude. And I'm gonna be there, man. Not them Bulldogs. Shout out to my dog Charles Johnson. Congratulations to my boy TD, but forget them Bulldogs. They suck. Ole Miss is coming for them.
Jake Paul's been in the news and stuff. We talked about Masvidal earlier. I know they had their thing. What are your thoughts on what Jake's been able to do? You know, going from being a YouTube guy to knocking out 2 UFC guys.
Congratulations, man. I'm one of those guys. I'm on the side of like, yo, I know how hard it. Somebody said something about it, like, yo, it's just really refreshing to see, like, because we know how hard it is to get in there and like create that buzz, dude. Like, you can be the greatest fighter in the world, and if you can't create buzz, you're not about to be on UFC pay-per-views at all. And this is a guy, I mean, he gets a lot of crap, but he's entertaining the world right now, and he's actually fighting high-level fighters more than the actual fighters are. Like, that's an accomplishment, bro. So I'm proud of him, dude, and I hope he keeps going, man. I hope he doesn't stop and cop out, dude, because it'll be an interesting story to see him actually. And I saw him working on his kicks. It would be sick to see him come to the actual UFC, bro. He would stop the world with that one.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible what he's been able to do. Would Greg Hardy ever box? We just talked about your contract. Is that something that's ever interested you?
I want to reach out to Triller. I want to reach out to a couple of people, man. My favorite team in the world is Top Rank. I love those boys. I want to go talk to those guys, see what they got for me, man. And I love Bob Arum, the way he moves. I just want to. I'm tight with some of the money with Mayweather people. I want to go out there and look at some options and see what I can do. That's always been in the plans, man. Now it's time to kind of put it into action. Big surprises coming for you.
That's good. That little teaser there. That's what we call in the industry. We mentioned Ngannou earlier. I know he wants to go over in boxing. You know him, decently. How do you think he'd do in boxing?
Man, see, this is where it gets tricky for me, man, because I've came over from other sports with nothing, and I feel like he's kind of had the same tip. He's always been a big striker, but from where he is now to where he needs to go for boxing, man, I feel like the gap is huge. But I feel like he is, the way his work ethic and the way he's had to come up, he's one of the only ones that are equipped to bridge that gap, man, because you can't really swing crazy in boxing. That it'll get you hurt. Like, that's been one of my biggest obstacles, like keeping control, understanding the rounds in the match, and not getting too out of control, because those guys are tacticians with those punches, man. But if he can bridge that gap, dude, there's no replacement for power. And a lot of us big boys that are strong haven't been touched too many times on the chin, so we both got decent chins, man. Like, I think those are the big gaps you got to jump. But once you're there, man, the only people in our way are Joshua, Gypsy King. Like, there's not a lot of guys that are going to stand up to the power and speed of pure MMA athletic ability, because, man, it's not the same.
And there certainly aren't many guys who can do an interview like you, Greg. I really appreciate the time, man. We're looking forward to it. UFC 270, January 22nd. Anyone you want to thank, man? Any sponsors, any social media you want to plug? I'll give you the last word.
I want to shout out to my dog, B. Werner, Lifted. Go check him out. Best cannabis products in the world, best CBD products in the world, stuff that I use. And all love to you for having me on, man. I appreciate you, and I look forward to coming back, man.